Hello, this is Tyler with Keystone Farm. I was going to do a video today on this winter water setup. I guess we'll be using it in the spring, summer, and fall too, but it's a frost-free water point here, energy-free too. There's no power to it. It's 8-inch diameter pipe that goes in the ground. Goes down, is it 6 feet? And then in the middle of that 8-inch diameter pipe, there's a PVC pipe, 3/4 inch PVC pipe that comes up that I insulated so that the groundwater is at 50 degrees. So, and then this water point is got thick, really thick side walls. So as long as there's cattle here drinking, it shouldn't freeze in the winter. So I don't have a full review right now. I just got it installed, I guess it was a month ago. So I don't have experience with really cold temps. And I'll just monitor it with the really cold temps. I might, if it does freeze, I'll just put a heater in it overnight. But they say it's not supposed to, so we shall see. And then it's a pretty nice microclimate here that, with all the gravel here, and then I'll build a corral out here that'll I've explained in other videos, but start on this post and go, it's kind of arc all the way somewhere in here. So it'll be decent size. Yeah, I had installed the this cover a while ago, but they couldn't figure out how to open it and drink water. But as you saw in this video, the Hector the bull figured it out. So one day they were kind of desperate for water, so I took it off, and they were all fighting over the water. So yeah, maybe he's just a little smarter. Guys are a little smarter than the girls. A little bit about this water point. I mean, I'm not going to cover all the different aspects of it, but one thing I would recommend is to Hector's giving me a sniff here. You want some camera time? One thing I'd recommend is installing the water point before putting your fence roughly halfway in between the water point, because if I can get Hector out of here. Hector, back up. He's been pretty skittish, but we'll just grab he seems like he's getting more tame now, but if I just grab a little something and shoo him out of the way here. So the inlet is roughly like 3/4 of the way. It's not directly in the middle. The outlet's more in the middle. So we ended up using we put the pipe, the 3/4 inch PVC pipe coming up through the 8-inch culvert in the outlet, because it's in the middle, and I already had my fence in, because I wanted this roughly, it's not quite centered, but I was figuring if I did put it in the inlet, it would be so off center, which it might have been fine in the end, but I was like, well, there's this other hole, because I'm not using the outlet. The outlet is, you can I'm not sure what it's for, but when you shut the water off or something, you can let the water out. But anyways, I don't think you necessarily need to use it. So I put it in the middle, but then that didn't leave very much room for my float. I had a real tough time getting my float just right. You know, this cover has such thick sidewalls. I could get my float in there and it would work, but then there wasn't enough room to put the cover on because I had to put it at a diagonal. Yeah, because you can't. I thought I could put it, you know, on that other side through this where they drink on that other side, but this comes down and it would hit the float, so that didn't work. So I adjusted it and readjusted it. I spent probably 3 hours doing that, and the first time I had it, thought it was good, but like a week later I noticed it was slowly leaking out that other side. I think the float was just barely hitting the sidewall. So when it would hit the sidewall, there was enough resistance there that it couldn't quite close all the way to stop the water flow. Yeah, I'm not. If this system doesn't work right now, we'll have to jimmy rig something, or just take it apart and use the inlet hole, which would make it way off center. Which, yeah, it would. Yeah, we'd have to drill new holes, and it would be off the concrete on that side. You can see there's only 3.5 inches or something on this side of concrete, so I don't think that would work anyways. I mean, we'd figure it out, but moral of the story, install it and then do your fence. I'll have more on this probably in the winter, but they come with instructions. Pride of the Farm is a brand. There's a number of guys that use them. I mean, there's all kinds of different brands, but it was $600. It's fairly reasonable, I thought. You know, to not. I was filling these tanks, as I've shown in other videos, 50-gallon tanks. It's a, you know, basically once a day, takes a half hour. Not ideal if you can get one of those. So yeah, I don't think I'll do a real long video today, but cut these cedar trees down. I want to make a stanchion here. We got the head gate, but I got a milk machine, so when I use a milk machine, I think I want to have them more locked in a stanchion so they can't move back and forth. We'll probably just dig some holes here and then attach it to the roof and put some sidewalls on. Also, it'll make it easier for training new cows to milk. I explained in other videos that Tigress, that one with horns, she wasn't used to milking or used to people, so she was just moving all over the place when we're trying to milk her and trying not to get run over or stepped on or kicked, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, a stanchion, they're just more or less just locked in there. They can't move much. Yeah, I'll probably start grazing next week. I could show, but I'm not gonna today. There's these mounds. On the other side of the mounds, there's ponds. It's kind of a lower area. Grass always comes up sooner over there and then recovers really quick, so I'll just start probably grazing there and then come this way. I think I'm gonna graze this whole area pretty heavily this spring, and all year I'm gonna bale graze it. So wherever I bale graze the year before, I don't necessarily care if I overgraze it, because when you bale graze, you know, add so much fertility and seed and whatnot. It looks like little Hector here hasn't quite shed his winter coat. It's gonna get up to mid-50s, and Looks like he's getting toasty. Maybe not. He could go in the shade if he wanted to, but all right, that'll be it for now.